Okay, so Samad set up the following experiment. You have an iron rod with coils of wire. There are about 100 coils, 100 turns of coils, and then it's linked to a power supply. Now, this is first of all identify the topic. The topic here is electromagnets. All right, now we know what do we already know about electromagnets. Um, what do we already know about magnets, right? And how we can make them using electromagnets. We know that electromagnets are temporary magnets and they are made by coiling, uh, you know, electromagnets are made by coiling magnetic materials with wires and passing electric currents through these wires, just like what we're doing here. When we are connecting the power supply to the 100 to the coils, we are actually passing electric current through the coils, and the electric current will actually magnetize the iron rod. Okay, but also remember that just for revision, remember that the more coils around the magnetic materials, the stronger the magnet becomes. Okay, so two things affect the strength of the electromagnet. One is the number of coils. In this case, we have 100 coils, so it should be sufficient. All right. And another reason why the electromagnet can be very strong is the amount of electric current that passes through the wires. Because here they just put power supply, we assume that it is very strong, but usually in other questions, the more batteries there are, the stronger the electric current. We can assume that, and therefore, the stronger the magnetic force that will be created by the electromagnet. Okay. Now, but most importantly, we need to also know that um, we also need to know that for PSLE, you only have to remember two magnetic materials, which is anything that is made up of iron and steel. Okay, so magnetic material in PSLE, you just have to remember iron and steel. There are others, but like cobalt and nickel. Okay, but you must know iron and steel. Given all these that we've learned about magnets, okay, remember magnets P3 work. PSLE covers everything from P3 to P6, so you really have to revise and remember all these facts. Now, when electric current passes through the coil of wire, what will Samad observe? Okay, because here we have an iron rod, and because it's an iron rod is a magnetic material. We know that when you coil magnetic materials with wires and pass electric current through the wires, you get an electromagnet. And when this is an electromagnet, what will happen to the steel paper clip? Steel is a magnetic material. We have a magnet very near magnetic material, it will attract. So what you can say is that the paper clip will be attracted to the iron rod. Okay, and why? Because the iron rod becomes an electromagnet, or you can say the iron rod is magnetized, or you can say the iron rod becomes a temporary electromagnet. Okay, so this is a possible answer to this question. I'm going to change color so that you can differentiate between my explanation and my answer. All right, let's look at the next question. Samad replaces the iron rod with an aluminium rod of the same size. So everything is the same except that this iron rod is changed into an aluminium rod. What do you think he would observe? Remember that electromagnets are only magnetic materials coiled with wires. We know that aluminium is not a magnetic material, so aluminium cannot be magnetized. Okay, so just remember that for an electromagnet to work, the rod or whatever that is wrapped around its coils need to be a magnetic material. Aluminium is not a magnetic material. Therefore, the paper clip will not be attracted to the aluminium rod. Why? Because aluminium is not a magnetic material and can never be magnetized. Okay, so with that, it's a very simple question requiring very simple answers. These are the type of questions you can really score as a P3 quick, but you really need to think through and remember all the facts that you've learned about magnets and electromagnets in P3. Okay, so if you really would like to score that extra marks, right, make sure you uh, really remember your facts. What you can do is you can replay this video again and again so that you can remember, okay, how to answer this question. Thank you.